Welcome everybody. We're starting in 2 minutes. Upon the Swiss Rapid, but I have to get my coffee and it's downstairs. I was waiting for it, so I don't know. Hopefully I'll be back. Welcome everybody to the live stream. We're still waiting on my coffee. It's not ready yet, Mr. Coffee. If you don't publish a book or poetry, he'll be disappointed. Mr. Coffee, where's my coffee? I'm gonna have to start the first game and then run down during my game. Because it's on the hot stove. And can't leave it there. But that's alright. We'll start the game and then we'll run down and get the coffee. It's 10 plus 5. We have tons of time. So you guys just excuse me while I disappear for 2 minutes. We've got 9 players so far. Let's get 10. Reduces here, Zen Chess, Impure King, Sun Prism, Stefano, Schumacher, Haruku, Aspirate. Unfortunately, no Aldisto. You're a conductor now. Poetry conductor. Walter Shipman. I saw Walter Shipman, but I never played him. Okay, Sung Prism. I'll make the first move. He'll probably not be here. Is Sung Prism here? Should I pre-move? No Rosalimo. Alright guys, we'll be right back. Okay, here we are. We are a little bit late, but we're still not too late. Alright. So you guys have heard of Trump derangement syndrome. Epstein derangement syndrome, Epstein files derangement syndrome. I have Caro-Kann defense derangement syndrome. I honestly don't know. I don't know why. I don't know why I got the Caro-Kann defense derangement syndrome. But it's not good to have that, obviously. Yeah, CKDDS. All right. Now, 10 plus 5, casual, rapid, Swiss. Is anyone interested in joining our team? I can't pay you too much to join. So Bishop F4, never faced that, and I hope I never face it again. We supposedly go here. Supposedly going where no man has gone before. Do I know you? I haven't been using the Discord, but we still have it. Guys, we're up to 2,000, 66.67. Nice round number. Hopefully not too round. Ooh, they published a list of my stupid team, my new stupid team, and I'm really on a low board. I don't know how many people are actually gonna play, but I don't know why. I'm not gonna take it personally. I don't fucking care. You know, my new attitude is I don't care. For whatever reason, they put me on a very low board, like a lower board than I've ever played. I don't think the organizer of our team appreciates how strong I am. I don't know why. I also think it's probably his first time fielding a team in Hungarian First Division. But I'm gonna try. I'm not gonna be insulted. I don't care. You know, I don't care. I don't know why they put me on board 7. And I mean, I care, but I'm gonna try to not care. You know, I've got to come to grips with it. Like, look at the bright side of life. You know, like Monty Python. I was always playing like board 2, board 3 on all of my teams in this division many years, even board 1 in some cases. So I'm gonna have to make an adjustment, but yeah. Well, I mean, you know, exactly. I mean, I have to win like all my games. And maybe I'll be better at that, but you know, no one consulted me about it. What I like is communication. Exactly. I can make draws. I'm just gonna win every game, you know. No draws. I can't be drawing with like 21, 2200s. I mean, the occasional draw is okay, but for the most part, I have to like beat everybody and just kill everybody. So no draws. Yeah. Exactly. There are a few other cases where teams have people like me, you know, like a fairly good player on a low board, like for that purpose. But whatever. So I was a little surprised, but it is what it is. Speaking of draws, yeah, I've got to look at it. I've got to look at it as a chance to force me. I mean, I was always good at playing low-rated players. I used to play in the Boylston Chess Club. My USCF rating was over 2,500, and I was still playing club tournaments and just regularly like beating everyone. So even when my rating was fairly high, I did well. I always just continued to play club tournaments. So apparently Hikaru played in Iowa. There's no upside to playing him. Huh. What the heck was in Iowa? The Des Moines Open? Iowa chess scene. Iowa. Iowa. Is that an Indian name? Is that a Native American name? Let's try to be politically correct. Indian name. He's sloppy. I know. Very sloppy. Sloppy like Sung Prism. Sung Prism is see, this is what I don't want. I don't want to be drawing with lower rated players. Caro-Kann is a terrible opening to play if your opponent is happy with a draw. Just ask Hikaru. I always joke about Hikaru Leiko. Kari Leiko. This is exciting. We're watching the paint dry here. Okay, the other thing you got to do though is like win equal endgames. Oh, brother! I mean, I've been looking at games from the. I was looking at some games from the Grand Swiss, and it's sad. You know, all chess is now is like everybody plays like perfect moves until move 40, and then somebody like loses a drawn endgame. I mean, is that what chess really? Is that exciting? Is it more exciting now? We make the time control faster. Everyone plays perfectly till someone loses the drawn endgame. Shanklin lost. He lost a drawn king and pawning game against Firouzja 2 times, and he had tons of time. He had like more time than Firouzja, and lost the same king and pawning game twice. Mostly people are losing in games because they're in time pressure. No, I mean, Tom Botvinnik, there was a lot of games that were interesting, though. I mean, even Rockport is playing, like, boring chess, man. It's not just that, though. I mean, they're playing, like, really boring chess. A lot of boring chess. And I think computers are part of it. But, okay, there are some games that are interesting, like, where there's really extensive opening theory. Like, the Shanklin-Firouzja game was interesting. It was some kind of really, like, long computer theory and some kind of Najdorf, I think. But then it, like, it becomes, like, a totally even endgame at some point. The vacuum. What's your preferred vacuum, Arsenal fan? Now, you're from the UK, so you're probably going to say Dyson. But, being an American, I think we've got to go with the Hoover. Now the modern vacuums are, I don't know what Sun Prism uses at home, but maybe he doesn't own his own vacuum. What is it? Robot vacuums, Roomba. Now there's a million clones of Roomba. But you know that the game is boring when I'm like talking about vacuums on the stream. I keep getting ads for Dyson. They have very strong marketing. But they're high end. Yeah, if this is an arena, I should offer a draw. Yeah, I just let him lure me into a very boring game. But, you know, that's what I get for playing the Caro-Kann. That's what I deserve it. I haven't, by the way, I haven't played this knight d7 variation in ages. But usually people are aggressive. You know, they'll play bishop c4, knight g5. You're guaranteed to get a sharp game because the other player will play very aggressively. But in fact, Sun Prison played the most, like, boring, you know, old line. Ironically, one of the only games I ever won in a Caro-Kann was this line, where I beat some 2100. Damn. So f4. Now that's aggressive. Bringing the king to the center, baby. Yeah, this is like watching the Grand Swiss, really. Very similar to watching the Grand Swiss. I don't know. I tried to turn the... Maybe I need a Dyson air conditioner. I tried to turn this one on. Actually, I was watching football yesterday. Hungary losing to Portugal 3-2. With Ronaldo. But yeah, it was a funny game. Hungary's like nowhere near as good as Portugal. But Portugal beat Armenia like 5-0 or something. Hungary was up 1-0 in the first like few minutes. Same as against Ireland. But their goalie is like, I don't know, man. They're just not as good a team. It'd be nice for them to qualify for the Euro, but I just... The World Cup, I mean. Don't think it's going to happen. Sun Prism is playing like God, and his endgame was always his weakest part. Yeah, Armenia's shit, but they beat... but they won yesterday. But they won yesterday. Against somebody. They're in second place in the division. They crushed someone yesterday. Whoever I don't know who the other team was. I don't know, at one point this weird thing happened where there was like, oh, they beat Ireland. Okay, they only beat them 2-1. Oh, okay, I misread then. They beat them 2-1. Hungary drew with Ireland. And so, losing to Portugal, they have to beat Armenia. But so far, no good. So, I have to channel my inner Sam Shankland to lose this king and pawning game. That's probably a bad move. F5. Channers. Could I have played E5 there? Nah. Damn, dude, this is painful. No, I mean, of course, Ireland had to have a good team at some point. They have a very strong football tradition. Come on, bro. How could they not, you know? I mean, okay, it's a small country. I mean, relatively small country, but still. The tradition for football there is very strong. You know, it's sad to see them lose to Armenia, where it's the opposite, you know. There was never any real tradition too much. But, This weird thing happened at some point where I think Ronaldo got like a penalty kick or something. And I didn't understand why. There was like a yellow card. We were watching the game and I just don't understand. Like Hungary lost because of this like penalty. Uh-huh. It was sad too because they caught up and then boom. They just allowed the third goal. They tried. So perfect game by Sun Prism. I think I'm losing. VAR. So what do I do now? Are you guys playing? Arsenal fan, are you playing? You guys want to risk it with G5? I don't think I can do that. We're going to have to come up with a different plan here. Okay. How bad can it be? We have to try something. No, Redusa, no saying moves during the games when it's like one-on-one. No doing that. This is not an arena. Got you there. You can't be controversial about that. Contrarian. Can't be contrarian to the fact that this is a Swiss tournament, not an arena. Showed you. Alright, so what's my point? Yeah, we're going to win on time, baby. Horrible game by me. Lifeless. I deserve to be like kicked out of like the World Chess Federation for this game. You might as well just take up Tiddlywinks if you're going to play like this. And you're black, seriously. King c6, 95 check. Takes. King takes. Pawn takes f4. King takes e6. King takes c5. King takes f5. And I'm too slow. King b4. King f4. King a3. g4. Off to the races. So I can't allow him to trade. That sort of defeats the purpose of this whole thing. In a way. But maybe if we stay in the vicinity. Yeah. Maybe, maybe not. Awful. Bro. This is the most painful game ever. Now I'm down a pawn. I can't play king f7. I can't play knight there. King can't move. So my only option is over here. Them. This is the only thing we talk about on my stream. Alright, dude. It's just bringing me down. I'm sorry I asked if you're playing. Knight check. That's a problem for me. This is just like a perfect game by white. What am I going to do? That doesn't work. Alright. 0 cent upon loss for white. Perfect game. Standard. That's why he's 1900. Whatever. Bombardillo Crocodillo. Oh, not enough games. That has a real computer-like feel to it. Yeah, not that one. I'm sorry, Bombardillo Crocodillo, but your ratings are too far apart. The standard 9 cent upon loss with no inaccuracies. Yeah, it was a draw until I played f5. It's a very bad move, but I wanted to try to play something active. I should have played anything but f5. h6 probably first. It's no need to play f5 here. I don't know why I played f5. This is really bad move. I mean, I knew it was a bad move when I played it. And I thought, oh, well, he won't have the technique to beat me here. But it turns out, okay, maybe I'm not lost, but it's very suspicious game by white. Obviously. I think h6. This it's funny. The computer likes f6 or even e5. I don't know. I don't want to think about it. I mean, it's such a bad, horrible nightmare. That's what I get for playing the Caro-Kann. That's why I'm playing 7th board for my team. If anything should ever convince me to never play the Caro-Kann, that game should do so. Yeah, I mean, but I have no winning chances. I mean, what the fuck is bishop f4? This is insane. C3 is the engine #1 move. Yeah, bishop f4. No one ever plays bishop f4. What are you doing? Playing the London system? With no e4 and d5 pawns? Unbelievable. Yeah, this is... The other thing I did, which I wouldn't normally do here, is trade the dark square bishop off like a moron. It's only inconsistent. You know, I could take on f3 and trade my white square bishop off. And I don't do that. So why do I trade his dark square bishop off? Because I know, like, the computer likes it. How the fuck does Marovich Fernandez win this position in a game in 1995? How does black win this position? There's no way a competent player loses this position with white against anybody. You know, it's impossible to lose with white. There's literally no way you could possibly lose. I think it's better to play bishop e7. You know, normally that would be my policy here. Anyway. Alright, so I violated a lot of policies. Nefedov. Nefedov likes to sneak in and, he likes to sneak in and beat me on time without me knowing it's my turn. And thanks for that. So, we play the birds against Nefedov. There's just, like, it's depressing. There's no way to win. And I'm just like, yeah, I go crazy with f5. Possibly it's not lost after f5, but I've put myself in a very difficult position now. So naturally, a d5. Now, did I play the birds against him before? He should go for h6 and g5. Like, you could play g5 right away, like Arsenal fan. My last game in this line. No, but he plays the Rossalimo, Arsenal fan. It's disgusting, too. I should play something else entirely if I want to win. Anything. Pretty much anything. So Nefedov playing d4 now. That's the idea. We want Nefedov playing d4. The same line against somebody last week. No, I mean, of course I would play the Sicilian in a tournament game. I just get bored of it. You know, I have a million Roslimos with people. Mr. Slow plays it every single time. I get it more than I get the Open Sicilian. And if I could play d6. Yeah. Then it's bishop e5 check, a la Magnus. Specific move order. Knight c6 from the... Oh, transpose back. So this is the same position I had with somebody last time. What is my main open Sicilian variation? The Richter Rouser or the Accelerated Dragon. I mean, the Classical or Accelerated Dragon are the main ones. Are you talking to me? Yeah, but Accelerated Dragon can only really... You know, the Accelerated Dragon is really... It's really a draw, too. You get the Marazzi. Okay, I won a lot of games with black because people overpress. I won a lot of games, actually. But objectively, if white doesn't want to push, the Rouser would be the best. So now Nefedov would be b6. The bishop g4 was played against me last week by somebody. Now b6 is a far more like standard setup for black. I feel Nefedov was becoming more hyper modern in his old age. I can't beat anybody. Thank God I'm on like board 7. Now what do I do? The Simon Williams Dutch. You can always play a4, but it seems like no reason to play that here. What about e4? No. Not a good idea. So what is the plan? f5? Knight e5? Bishop d2? Seriously? He's playing bullet chess. Alright, I'm gonna kill Nefedov. So... yeah, I guess he plays a lot of bullet chess. In his free time. Nobody's perfect. What's the idea with e6? I did come 2 minutes late. You have too much Richter Rouser experience to avoid it. I should really play the black side of Classical Sicilians. Still is the best option for me. I don't know anything else as well except for the Accelerated Dragon. What the hell am I doing? What the hell is he doing? He's playing like super fast. I don't think this I don't think Nefedov's into this time control. Doesn't seem like he's really into it, you know? The idea is to just try to play as fast as possible and win on time. Not my thing. There goes the queens again. Everybody just trades queens against me and then like beats me. Playing perfect games. Let's see if we got another one. It's weird. I mean, again, Nefedov, not a d4 player. Yet he's playing like he's a lifetime d4 player. It's really weird. The idea of the Birds opening is to play it against e4 players and make them, you know, play a structure they're unfamiliar with. But here it just has no effect. Has zero effect. He doesn't care. Let's just play a completely new structure I've never played. So f5, sacking a pawn. The problem is there's a lot of problems. Black is only equal because I played the birds opening. D4. Wow. That's a kind of committal move. I like that. That makes me happy. We like that here. I'm stacking too much pawns to Swiss. Yeah, I sacked one pawn, immediately lost. That's the only one so far. I did, Arsenal. I played g5 in the last game. I mean, that was actually the losing move, you know. No, it is true. I sacked the g5 and lost immediately last game. Positional pawn sack. I get the impression that Nefedov just got done playing like 22-1 games in a row or something. He's not really savoring the 10+5 time control. This is not an arena. You know, you guys don't get to play another game like immediately when it finishes. So you might as well use your time. Because you're going to just sit there when the game's over for like 10 minutes without anyone to play. But Pavel doesn't seem bothered by that. Now Sun Prism really took his time. The opposite of what Nefedov is doing. Which is good because Sun Prism used to have a real problem with that. And he's toned it down now. Yeah, this is starting to look good to me. I have too many options, though. I don't know what to choose. It's a nice, relaxing time control. Nefedov's like, he's putting pressure on me. Like, he's trying to use the clock as a weapon. As I said, I came 2 minutes late. Now F5. F5 is really controversial. Not as much for him, though. I'm letting him get away with murder. I let him get away with murder. I had chances and I blew it. Looks like. F5's close, but it's a little slow. Takes knight knight G3. He's a tad too fast here. Sucks I can't play F5. Possible the whole maneuver was just for nothing. I probably just wasted time. So we still have Crocodilo Bombardillo. Oh, I didn't decline him. I'm sorry. He's like waiting all the time. Waiting to be disappointed. Sorry, Crocodilo. You don't have 100 games and your rapid rating is like way, way higher than the other rating. So knight F2 is a great square. Blocking my king. I was better, but now it looks like a dead draw. F5, G5 takes, rook takes, knight E5. The problem is my D3 pawn is a real pain in the ass. You know, I think I'm going to lose the pawn chain Dragonfly Hunter, and my whole position is going to fall apart. That's the obvious thing to do, you know. That was the plan, and then I had to second guess myself, unfortunately. You know, I decided to second guess myself. I was afraid that d3 goes and everything falls apart. Now it's a draw. Nefedov was like childish. He was childishly optimistic in this game, I would say. What's the point of bishop a4, really? Okay, whatever. I mean, d4 was an extremely optimistic move by him. I don't know why he would do that, other than just like the kind of like randomly gaining space. But I think d4 was borderline overextending for black. Uh-huh. Concerted. As far as I'm concerned, oh. I haven't played chess really at all in the last 24 hours. So I was really not warmed up coming into this. First game against Sun Prism was lifeless. This is a little bit better, but not much. You guys are really trying hard, and I'm not inspired yet. Now I could have tried g5 there. Probably a little too early. Nefedov can lose this. He can lose this, definitely. But he shouldn't. Now, well, I'm really uninspired after losing the first game, obviously. I didn't know how uninspired I was. But I'm super uninspired after that. Nefedov gives me the feeling he like plays fast. We've had this discussion for like 5 years now. It's a defensive kind of playing fast. Like he plays fast because he doesn't want to be in time pressure. You know, I accuse people of trying to flag me, but actually a lot of times, and especially in like his case, with a lot of people over the years, when you play online and time is a big part of the game, you get to see like, you know, this guy isn't necessarily really trying to flag me. It's more about he's afraid to get into time pressure. The easiest way to avoid getting in time pressure is just, you know, not using your time. Deep. Tension. Speaking of tension, he stopped me from playing, do I really want to do this? See, now I'm getting too optimistic. Takes, knight g6, pawn takes f5. Okay. I sacrificed 2 minutes. I didn't mean to. You know, I didn't know the game had started. There's supposed to be a 3-minute break between rounds. Is there not a 3-minute break between rounds? Yeah, 3 minutes between rounds. So I was looking at the Sun Prism game when Nefedov game started. I didn't realize. So really, in terms of using time, we're about even. But he has more time to use. It's a boring game. The second very boring game where nothing happened and everything was totally symmetrical. It is a dilemma. If you're not using your time, you'll get bad position. If yes, you're going to get time pressure. Yeah, I noticed that in the Grand Swiss, Moksudlu was in first place. I don't know what happened in the last round. But looking at his games, he plays very, very fast. You know? But you have to be extremely fucking good to do that. To be able to do that well, you know? He's playing really fast. Sort of like no matter what. And I think, you know, that's typical of young players. I'm having weird hallucinations here. But if his king, at least if his king is on g6, he can't put his knight on g6. So that's good. But I think like Nefedov and Sun Prism, everyone's underrated. Why am I 25-50 and I can't even get a slight advantage against these guys? You know what I mean? Okay, this Caro Khan is a bad idea. The birds is a bad idea. Okay, I'm playing bad openings, right? Caro Khan is a bad idea if you want to win, for sure. It's okay for a draw. That pawn's not going anywhere. So maybe now... I did another pawn sacrifice. I just have to, like win all of my games in the Hungarian Team Championship. If I can win like 10 games against 2100s. The average rating of my opponents is going to be between like, it's going to be around like 2200. Probably average 2200. So I just beat them all, you know. I'll probably be looking at the same average rating of opponents in the World Senior. If I would ever get off to a good start in the World Senior, I could probably play some stronger players. But all my tournaments so far, especially last year, wasn't a particularly great start. Bishop f4, bishop f4, king f4. That looks drawish. But I have another option. He's up a pawn. He's a pawn up. Bishop takes f4. That doesn't work. Or does it? It does work. Wow. Oof. Oh no. What do I do next? Now Nefidos put himself in a difficult situation here. All of the pawns on the wrong color. But he can't take because of knight d5. Now I just go bishop c7 and invade with my king. Oh. Oh. You can go after my g4 pawn. Oh, you can defend. Oh my god, he has bishop a5. Oh, it's so ugly I never considered it. Wow. That's crazy. He has some ideas of that. I mean, there's no way that black should lose this kind of endgame. But he has to think a little bit as he gets closer to the endgame. Slim Prism now. What was that? You beat Asterbait? You beat me and you got Asterbait as your pairing? Because he had a full point buy? Oh man, Asterbait played... Wow. A3. Wow. It's a pseudo Nimzo. Nefedov. What did he do? Wow, he was seriously better out of the opening. The computer liked his d4 move. Okay, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the second d4. This is the move that I didn't like, but it's actually not so bad. He was okay. He was okay here. Despite all of his pawns being on the wrong color, it's still a draw. Until knight g8. Though not an easy endgame to defend, even the computer makes it look like it. He shouldn't have even been in that situation. All of his pawns on the wrong color and stuff. Miles is here. Zen chess, in and out market. He got a forfeit win against Schumacher and left. What's that about? Like, seriously, Schumacher was never in the chat. He wasn't on the list of players to begin when I saw it earlier. So he must have registered at some point, then not showed up. Now maybe he still could come back, but Zen Chess has left. Phew, very uninspired games by me so far. Sorry. We've got 4 rounds left, so hopefully we can do a little better. 53 seconds. Mr. Coffee. Schumacher, where are you? You're on the bus again? I gotta try to find some inspiration to be creative, you know. But another bad birds opening. I don't think I can play the birds. It's just not good enough. Okay, it's good for you though. I mean, it's good for me to play the birds as an experiment, you know. Pretty weak tournament today. Thank you, Asterbait. I mean, Arsenal fan. Well, obviously, because you're not in it. I mean, Asterbait. Acerbic energy. Yeah, we gotta have a little bit of energy. Starting, more correct. G3 has a good score for me personally and for everybody. Like, if you look at the opening score, it's like a better Birds opening. I have this Birds obsession now a little bit, but it's very good for beating like weak players. Okay, C5. You can still play the bird, like a delayed bird. Obviously. The Danish gambit. 100%. Oh, well, that's not bad. Not very good, though. That's okay. Now Asterbate goes queen pawn on me. Wow. Everybody. They're all e4 players. Original e4 players who go queen pawn. Just remember, Asterbate, white lives matter. We had the black lives matter when it's reversed, but if you're white with the black pieces, then the D5 square is the weaker point. If you go with the full center with E4, you've got to be very careful. White lives matter protesters. Miro's here. Okay. Anyway, we try to keep it topical. Black Lives Matter protests a little bit. Yeah, that's old news. But it's hard to keep recycling new ideas. I like to make funny references when we're analyzing, so that way you remember stuff. Right after me, it's King's Indian. Your move. You're playing the white side of King's Indian with a move behind, so be careful. Sup, Miro, 152%. 80 plus 72. So you win 152% of your games in the Danish Gambit. It's kind of scary that your winning percentage with black is higher than with white. B5 was an interesting move for black there. That's extreme. They usually do B5, but it's a speckled hen. You're not supposed to do like C5, B5. You do knight F6, D5, and B5. Or even, I've seen even knight, D5, knight D7, and B5. And Nanu did it to me reversed. Yeah, you can play B5 at some point. All right, Fianchettoist. So what are we going to do with the Fianchettoist? I don't know. G6, good move. Very solid. Is the Danish Gambit really -1 for black? I would hope it would be like a tiny bit better than that. I would think it would be a tiny bit better than that. D4 right away. Okay, so how are you protecting your C5 pawn? So that's the Emil. The Achilles heel of all Fianchetto setups. Oh, the double pawn sack. Okay. Yeah, well, I don't know about that. I just meant like initial sack. E5, that's how he's protecting it. Efficiency embodied. The embodiment of efficiency. So now, speaking of B5, we have B5 issues, reissues. my friend Emil would play this religiously. Knight on a5. In the Benoni, King's Indian, and I would try to like corral it on b7 if possible, but it's not so easy. So that's what takes. This is a low maintenance approach. I don't like the setup, but okay, maybe it's not that bad. Now you have e4. If e4, we lure him forward. Do I take with a knight or take with pawn? Taking with a knight is okay. Also lower maintenance. We're aiming for boring, by the way, across the board today. But no, I played the birds opening. I'm sorry I played the Caro-Kann. I played the birds opening. Now I played, King's Indian attack. Yeah, honestly, Arsenal fan, when I play the white side of the Danish Gambit, I feel like it's better to just not sack 2 pawns, just sack 1. I don't know, Don't see why it's necessary to go into that double pawn sack line. I've had very good blitz games just sacking the 1. Yeah. Just sacking the 1 pawn. I would think that white would have a little bit of compensation for the pawn there, I don't know if it's as much as like half a pawn, but it's something. I think it's underappreciated. Underwater. 0.3, Yeah, I would prefer to go that way. So bishop e6, developing. Does Gingy play bishop takes c6 here? I'm castled. I really love doing that when I'm castled. Though it's a temptation. 2 knights versus 2 bishops. You could try it. Take. No rush. There's no rush. Okay. Okay, he can play like rook c8, defending his nugget. Okay. What did we talk about? White Lives Matter protesters? Which would normally be Black Lives Matter protesters, but the position is backwards. So his white squares are actually his dark squares when he's white here. This square, dude, is gone. I mean, it's gone, bro. Game over, mofo. It's game over. It's like strategic game over. And nothing's going to save you here. Which way do I take? Getting my rook off the long diagonal. So it's a positional lesson, for black. Black is scrutified here. You're fully scrutified. After just 13 moves, black is like strategically lost. Totally over, game over. Just take all the knights like you're cheesy noob or something. First off. And then it's shades of Lilienthal. Lilienthal. I don't know, some old Lilienthal game. I remember. Lilienthal Botvinnik. I think Botvinnik got a draw. Some shaky position. Horrible asked me, what are you doing? What are you doing? Giving me the white squares. You can't play bishop takes c4 there. Can't give up your light square bishop. Alright, Sun Prism is playing Redusu. The battle for first place. Whoa. Check. Let's not check. What's happening here? What happened to Mr. Solid? The normally solid computer-like draw precision of Sun Prism is nowhere to be seen. Black hath played G5 on the king side. Now maybe he has some stuff. Maybe we should... White's king is not that safe. He hath some stuff. Maybe black hath some stuff. It's all smoke and mirrors. Maybe black's position isn't so bad. So what was this? A Queen's Indian. Some kind of Queen's Indian. With b6, bishop a6. I'm curious what the opening was. It was a BOGO. Black castled, and after a3 played bishop takes d2 check. So old main line. I played bishop e7 a lot now, although it's hard to play. Oh, bishop takes d2. White has both captures here. Queen takes is also played, and then black plays d5. But I don't know about d5. Normally black plays like Harpov style with b6. That's like Karpov's. Saruhan. Looks like Saruhan Karpov, or like Ulf Anderson versus Karpov or something. You know? Ulf Anderson Karpov draw 1980. Or maybe even Ulf Anderson managed to lose. But white can also take with the queen. I mean, this is an important variation. If you take with the queen, you put the bishop on b2. And you try to crank that diagonal open somehow. But d5 I'm not really familiar with with the ideas here. This must be a line. Queen c2 looks good. So he plays b6. You could take. Maybe take. Yeah, this looks awfully familiar. Like I had almost the exact same position recently. Uh-huh. So Sun Prism is low on time. There's also some question about where did that dark square bishop go? Where did white's dark square bishop go? Wow, I didn't realize it. Oh my god, black's down the exchange. I didn't even realize this. Black is down the exchange. It's like I stared at the position for a couple minutes, not realizing. How do you sack an exchange? Somehow black lost a rook for the dark squared bishop. So it must have been on f4? Oh, that doesn't look right. Well, if he wasn't down an exchange, it would probably be okay. But if he's down the exchange, I mean, black is probably lost. Black doesn't have any realistic compensation for being down the exchange here. Alright, let's go back and see what else has happened. Where's Uber Driver? He hasn't been on. Heroku is playing. Kelly M. Guess the opening. H4? What the heck opening was this? Against Heroku? What could that be? Oh, one of those Jabava? What is that? Wow, it was an Italian game. Interesting. It was Hungarian defense with bishop e7. Well, whatever. Okay. Okay. So this is kind of reasonable for both sides. White surrendered the center and then played c4. But then the symmetrical structure looks... Ooh, rook f1. Avoiding exchanges with rook f1. That's hardcore. Weird. Yeah, I couldn't have guessed Italian game here with this structure. Oh, Heroku has a win against Kelly M. In their only other game. Wow. And Heroku's usually the fast player. He didn't berserk. There's no berserking. This is a Swiss. You saw it last night, what? My opponents play in this game. Arsenal would report it, but the shadow ministers won't let him. I have that all the time, Nefedov. I play these people in like blitz games. That's the worst. You like go along the whole game thinking that you're playing, you're not playing a computer. You're like, oh, this guy's just, you know, he's playing well. And it only dawns on you like at the end. You're like, I was playing a computer the whole time. Never occurred to me. God damn it. So the Potzer you crushed over the board, who cheated against you online? Yeah, well, cheaters are definitely going to go for the CM title. I'm surprised he's not an arena GM already. But you're not saying he cheated over the board. But you think he did? Are you shadow banned from ECF yet? Over the board he was crap. Oh, you mean ECF tournaments online? Oh, okay. Yeah, that's fishy. That's fishy as fuck. Yeah, I told you guys there was this Hungarian. He's an FM. Plays in the same division with me. He cheated on my stream against me a couple games. Don't give anybody credit because they have a title. Obviously. I think there's this... Okay, there's like a slightly lower percentage chance that people with titles... We hope that people with titles at least would respect the game a little bit more. That they wouldn't cheat. But a lot of people assume the title players are less likely to cheat. It's not that much less likely. You know. Especially with a low value title like CM. The dude that cheated against me is an FM. But there's the mentality of it's online chess, you know. Everybody cheats. Something like that. You can try to justify it, right? There's always a way to try to justify. They do it, so I do it. Which is bullshit in most cases. You know, if you're like top 10 in the world and you realize like Hans is cheating against you, I could see being justified in like cheating back against him or something. And stuff like that happens in some of the Grandmaster, with some of the Grandmasters who have been banned in online chess. Probably they're like revenge cheating against because other people cheated against them. But alright, black timed out. So Miles the Miamic, he is from Miami, right? Miasmic is 2.5 in first place. No, this game is not over yet. Whoa, Sun Prism really using his time. But he's down the exchange. He's totally screwed. Man, brilliant game by Redusa. He not only like crushed black, but he did it using very little time. Though Redusa does tend to get excited and will sometimes freak out in winning positions like someone else we know. Here White has everything. Safer king, better structure, up the exchange, better bishop. What? Every piece is like perfectly placed. What more could you ask for? Yeah, so that's interesting. Nefidov was talking about how badly he can misevaluate a position. Well, I think that's a great opportunity, Nefidov. It gives you a great opportunity to learn something about yourself and about chess in general. It's not every day we have games like that where you can really misevaluate so badly. One of the best games to lose. It's pretty rare, I think. So White is not making progress. He's repeated moves. Up a clear exchange. He has every factor in his favor, but he can't finish black off here. Black is threatening rook takes f5. You know, it seems like the knight should remain on d4, and then White should try to attempt to improve their position. This is insane. Rook h7 is a really insane type of move. So this is the kind of thing I'm talking about. Redusa will do this where he freaks out. I think he should have reset and played his knight back to d4. Black is under pressure on the clock, but still. Whoa, f1 is hanging. What is he thinking about? So suddenly it's completely unclear. White has thrown the whole position, but still it might be like equal. Maybe White's even better somehow. It's a masterclass on bad time management. Rook h7 was... Yeah, he could have maybe taken the knight, takes h7 too, but there was some checks and stuff. Rook h7 was bad on every level, you know. It ignored the threat. It didn't really threaten anything. It was like some ridiculous, strange, tricky, distracting move meant to like make his opponent like freak out and lose on time, but it didn't do anything. You know, it literally doesn't do anything. What are you gonna do? Like queen g7 next? So suddenly, you kind of like the guy with the two pieces, but still his king is wide open. That knight is really good though. Look how it takes away like all the checks. Well, almost all the checks. There are checks at h3 and c8 here. So still not so simple. But I don't think that White is better anymore. You know, he completely threw it away. He might still win because of time. Steady move. a6. Giving him bishop back. That's the one check I was talking about. No more checks. Oh, no. Oh, okay. So it's a draw? Whoa. Now all hell is breaking loose. Maybe it's not a draw. Maybe white's gambling. Oh no, black has queen takes f2 check. What's white's move? Sorry, my bad. You can't play check when you're in check. Oh, he had queen h8 check? Are you kidding me? He had perpetual there and didn't take it? You gotta be kidding me. Sun Prism had perpetual with queen h8, king g1. It's not perpetual. Ah, that's why. Yeah, you can't put the queen on a1, duh. Sorry. So queen h8 didn't work. He didn't have perpetual. There was no clear draw. King f4 was very tempting. That's what I thought was going to happen. Okay, this is still not over. Yeah, I mean, what are you thinking about there? Lucky he has that move. Black's very lucky if he gets out of this with a draw. That's like irrational. Could have played queen f2 there. Queen f2 would be safer, no? For white. Queen f2. I guess it doesn't matter. Yeah. Black cannot trade queens. So it's checky poo. Of course. This is an important moment now. It's a very important position. Wait. They have an interesting score. Redusa won the first three and then Sun Prism 2 in a row. Reduce lost on time with a Forest King and Pawn win on the board. Take everything and play g3 and it's over. So take, king takes g4, king g6, g3 resigns. And he lost on time there, which is really weird. White lost on time. And this is a forced win. He must have just freaked out. Definitely didn't deserve to lose. Unleashed. Welcome, Unleashed. Oh dear. You're very lucky. He paused before playing the winning sequence. It was a draw. But I have to admit, like I wouldn't know if this is an automatic draw or not. I probably should. I would not want to trade queens to be on the safe side here as well. But it's a little tricky. You had to find queen c3. And so stuff like king h2, queen e5 check, queen g3. It's a draw. All right. I wouldn't want to trade. I wouldn't want to trade queens there if I wasn't 100% sure. Especially not in time pressure. You know, okay, it's an over-the-board game. You have time to think about it. Is the rook versus knight and pawn a draw? You could probably calculate if you have enough time to make sure. But I think in general, if you don't have time, you don't simplify. You try to keep playing for the perpetual. So I'm presumed with 3 points. So he has to play Miles. And then I play Redusu. And that leaves 3 people with 1.5. Including Kelly, God Shankar, and Nefedov. Asterbate Stefano. Sanchez is out. Got Hiroku taking his place. Ruslan Bear is here. Mr. Coffee is just here as a placeholder. And Giachi's here. Alright, so we're black. Another tough game. So far we've played 2 kind of bad openings, and then an easy win against Asterbate, who messed up his opening against me. We've had no really good openings. So I don't remember what we had last time. I don't usually, use this move order, but the ability to play the Pierce type of Kraken things gives me an opportunity to try to do this. Now he, I think, played this move in other games. So I was looking at this a while ago. People have played everything in this position. I've played almost everything in this position. We played him before. F5 I played the other day. It's a bad line. I think F5 is probably bad. Let's play like Nona. Do you want to do that? I don't know, maybe knight d7. I'm experimenting a little bit here. I'm experiencing some discomfort. So Nona does this all the time. It's like a Todorov thing. I've seen her play it on like multiple occasions. And she'll do the setup like with both colors, even with white. Then like dark square blockade. F6. Do you want to really hurt me? I don't think we have to rush. Years and years ago, I remember having a game with white, where Vladas Laszlo did bishop h6 against me in a modern, a little bit later, not this early. But if white doesn't commit to e4 so early, what else is he going to play? Uh-oh. I don't know, our internet might be going. Yes. Bishop d3. That looks like a good move. But I don't really intend to play f5. I just play one on TV. So it looks like our stream is okay. We had a gift sub earlier, or a Unleashed has followed. Reed, if you're a femboy, has followed. Astrobate gifted, Astrobate gifted to Sun Prism early in the stream. Thanks for that, Astrobate, getting us started on the right foot this week. Next week I'll be back to Tuesdays for the tournament. Tomorrow we have our analysis stream. Thursday analysis stream every Thursday night around 6:30, 6:45 p.m. The Nona. So you do like a rat or pork chop. King F8, King G7, Knight H6, F6, Knight F7. That's the Nona. Strong pointing E5. This is a cheapo. White is threatening Knight takes E5 now. This is your brain on cheapos. So should I play F6 or should I play another move? This is your brain on cheapos. I think F6 is part of the plan anyway, to create a blockade on the dark squares. So rather than like B6, which weakens my queen side. Right? Now, it's always important that we respect this square. We have to get developed. 97. If I play 97, F4, takes, queen takes, that doesn't look too good. If Knight H6, F4, takes, Rook takes. No, Knight H6 is really good because I have Knight G4 too. So what's up in the championship game there? Sun Prism 3-0 against Miles the Miasmic, who's also streaming, by the way. Miasmic. Miasma. Wow, we have 25 viewers, all-time record today. Bishop D1. Wow, you gotta love that. Multifaceted. I mean, I can almost play F5. But he'll jack me with F4. This is a way of meeting Knight G4. It's a nice idea. Nice to meet you. So I play Knight F7. Well, if I can't go the other way is now covered. Viewers spiked because you started playing the tournament. Oh, here I was thinking they like got back from summer vacation. My family's like, oh, it's okay. Everybody will start watching again. It's just a summer thing. Viewers spike. Arsenal's in the tournament. You're allowed to leave. You're allowed to leave. You're allowed to leave. By the way, you're allowed to join up until halfway into the tournament. So, to make a commitment. So my no defense here is working. What is White's deal with Queen G3? What is Queen G3? This is like the only game in the last like 6 years Reduce has not moved his H pawn. Yeah, black is. I mean, white is like almost like encouraging me to do something crazy. I mean, are you trying to play knight f3, knight there, knight there? Are you trying to play bishop g4? Gotta ask yourself what is white trying to do here? Trade my like bishop off with bishop g4. What a subtle and surprising move. Now what do? I need a line to debility. H5. It's basically like white's tempting me to do that, but I mean that's the kind of thing like I don't know. I wasn't scheduled to play H5 here. That wasn't the plan. You're supposed to overextend yourself. You're not overextending yourself. You're supposed to play f4. Why didn't you play f4? So if I just wait, then white plays bishop g4. Okay, it's not the end of the world. I can live with that. I do want to complete my development. But why should I play bishop d7 so you can just like walk in there and play bishop g4 then? Why would I waste my time? How about rook a6, the old rook a6? Yeah. Get my pieces on some awkward squares. Rook a6, bishop g4, queen g4, rook b6, b3. I mean, we can do it. My inner accelerated dragon. This is a weird move. What's up, chess zebra? Zebra in Hungarian. It could be Zebra the Debra. Or Debra the Zebra. If you're not suffering from, you know, mental stress like me. Zebra the Debra. Debra Zebra. Okay, rook a6. White is confused. What is this? I want to play on the dark squares. It's an accelerated dragon. I decided not to play c6 because I'll never have control of d5. So I'll just play like, you know, rook a6, rook b6. I've accepted that you can play bishop g4 and trade off your bad bishop. This is... I mean, you need to see a professional about this. Because that move is... I gotta say, I mean... Yeah. It's like chess OCD. This is the only thing you do, is like move your h-pawn. And again, I wonder why white is a d4 player. Why are you a d4 player if you want to move your h-pawn every game? Why don't you ever listen? Now you're going to make me have to do what I, you know... What I didn't want to do. But why do I have to play h5? I mean, are you really threatening me? Bishop d7 is okay. Bishop d7's okay. Let them play h5. See, I don't like letting them play h5. Controversial. But there's no knight h4. So I don't have to worry about like f4, knight f3, knight h4, knight f5, stuff like that. If f4 I take it and I stick my knight on e5, H5 is protected. I can go... Well, it's going to be hard to play knight h6, but we can think about it. Now I can play bishop d7, starters. I was thinking about bishop d7, and then c6. Look, it's a Marazzi where I can take with the bishop on c6. It's okay. You have knight d1 now, ideas. But don't I have a4 at some point? I could play a4 for the first time. It seems a little early. This prevents a4. So I was thinking c6. Probably a bad idea. If I ever do c6, c takes d, he takes back with the c pawn and my rook is embarrassed. So white is doing nothing. He's doing nothing rather well. But we could attack him on the king side. Shouldn't that be an option? I would think so. g5. The lines are drawn now. Looks like white's preparing to play a3, b4. c6 is no good. So a3, b4 is going to be a problem. Huh. Might have to retreat my knight back to a6 to stop that kingside stuff. Now with more stuff. g5, f4. This is a really interesting position. But this rook b6 is starting to look less and less. Okay, rook a6, a3, rook a8, b4, take, knight a4. Alright, I'm going to go back to traditional approach here. We're low on time. I'm bailing. Bailing on rook b6. a3, rook a8, b4, take, knight a4. Is that even good? Well, it's the only. I'll take with a rook. That's fine. Wonder if I should consider a different square, like rook a7. Rook a7, b4, take, knight a4. Pins me. It's a pity I never moved my queen. Very, very, very weird game. Well, what does c6 do? You know, it's okay if he takes it or something and I take with the bishop, but if I play c6, what's my next move? If I take on d5, he takes with the c pawn and I'm screwed. This is a move I thought he might play earlier, but came in an unlikely moment. To go to there, to e3. I don't think it's a problem for me. I'm just going to move my king. Sidestepping any kind of knight f5 sort of stuff. But I think white is being inconsistent, you know. One minute he's like a3, b4, the next minute he's like knight d1, knight e3. I don't know. He doesn't have a kingside attack. This position is not... He's not stronger. He should have continued with the normal plan there. He's not stronger on the king side. But maybe I made a mistake. Wouldn't be the first time. Mm-hmm. Maybe I was right. G. Christiansen. Maybe I was right about what? There's a 3. I was scared of something else now, but it doesn't matter. Some weird stuff going on here. I didn't like this f6 getting weak. He has f4 takes, queen takes, and then my f6 was double attacked. So what do I do now? Still, he doesn't have any threats on the king side. He's playing on both sides of the board. It's pretty hard to do that, you know. Hard to do that well if you're not like a computer or something. Very easy for white to overextend. f4 is a mistake. b4 has to be timed correctly. But I think he could have played f4 last move. You know, that was his golden opportunity. I have to take, and then queen takes. He's double attacking f6. Okay, maybe it wasn't a big deal. Maybe I could play like king back to g7. But it looks scary. I probably could have moved my king back. Now this is some sort of insanity. King h1. I want to keep this. I don't know what he's doing. Just a waiting move or some sort of intentions of trying to play g4, which is really irrational. The consistent thing to do would be to play for b4. The timing of it, though, I think is a little bit suspicious. Knight takes f5, knight g5. I don't have any tactics. So where's my knight going to go? Knight a6 is a terrible square. But they're all terrible. Okay, I have a plan. Positional pawn sack with c5 has taken me down a lot of times. I don't think it works in this particular position. I have c3 square. My plan should include possibly playing c5 now. I think that's the right thing to do. But again, there we go with the issues with the central square. All right, I think we got to do this. This is like a dangerous thing to do, but basically what I expected. What the hell is going on here? He has these shots of bishop c5 and knight f5. So that's kind of like a combined tactical threat. Take on c6, and then take on h5, and then knight f5, forking my queen and mate on g7. This is just really weird. He's migrating these pieces over to the king side, but I don't know what it does. Yeah, he went back. Okay, so this is not a plan. That was not a plan. There's your g4 hero. I have f5 at some point, you know. It's been hard to do. He could have played knight f5 last move, by the way. Just saying. Little calculation goes a long way. I don't know if it works or not. How about knight e6? Defeating Kato his queen. There's g4. Extremely radical. Rook d2. Okay, queen and knight, Magnus. He doesn't care about that. It's a glorified trade of queens. The endgame's better for black, though. I mean, all of his pawns are isolated. He's like losing all of his pawns. Very, very weird game. Uh-huh. I'm not going to take it with the knight, though. It's a little late for that. Alright. Very, very uncompromising play by white in this game. But a bit too much. Thanks, G. Christiansen. Good luck in the World Senior. Okay. Yeah, World Senior, thank you. 200 bits. October. Let me check the date again. going to the States in 2 weeks. Coming back to Budapest on the 9th of October. And then the World Senior is on the 19th. I leave, and I play on the 20th of October. So thanks to the donation of 200 bits. Shocky's here. Alright, guys. That was probably the longest game. Finally, an eventful game, though. That was kind of fun. Somebody has to beat Sun Prism. He's now beaten everyone. He beat Miles the Miasmic. Oh. 7 Centipon loss this time. He's improving on his last game against me with 7 CPL. Wow. Do you guys see the game I had a couple weeks ago? Where someone had 1 Centipon loss against me? Was it last week? 1 Centipon loss. Okay, Sun Prism looked human against Redusu there. What happened to Miles the Miasmic? He just blundered? This must be a serious blunder. Oh no, the Danish Gambit thing? Oh no. What happened? He played C5. Oh no, so this is like a trap? Scotch Gambit, whatever. It's not really a Scotch Gambit, right? I mean, it is, but it isn't. Goring Gambit, yeah. So it was a trap. You played C5. And suddenly white has king C4 and just a clear pawn up. Then he dropped a piece. Ugh. Alright. Last, let's see. Well, there's still some strong players left that Sun Prism hasn't played. Yeah, Redusu. You couldn't make up your mind. But the structure demands like more of queenside play. As I said during the stream, it's not easy to play with the space there. It's actually easier to be black. Why do I get the strongest player? How come like you're not playing Sun Prism? You don't have enough points? Alright. I'm always black too. Let's try this again. Right. If E5. So what did we do last time? You played E4 or Bishop F4 here? Knight C3 encourages this. Now we have a standard Kraken. I forget. I think I played it against him once. I don't know why I played the Caro-Kann in the first game. I don't think that Bishop G5 has been played against me by too many people. Yeah, this is a little too direct. I just try to remember. I mean, I never get this any. But should I play H6 or not? Seems stupid to play H6. Take, queen takes, rook takes, knight D7. But if I play H6, yeah, you go to like F4 or something. So why is that good for me? Yeah, I mean, the question is the E5 pawn overextended or not? Now I could play H6. H6 here. Probably doesn't quite work. Allowing mate is also not a good idea. In general. This is a very serious threat. To not take on E5. Yeah, now I'm out of book. so to speak. Should I pin your knight with bishop b4? It's a little overrated. h6 g5. Sharp. Probably not a great idea. But we have interesting stuff. Development would be a good idea. Even like solid bishop e7 is possible. I don't know what to do. I'm just a caveman. H6 doesn't seem really beneficial. So we could play bishop e4. The bishop on g5 remains like a massive thorn in my side. Or just bishop e7, really kind of lame, but solid. And then there's h6, bishop h4, g5 takes, bishop takes g5, even knight c6 is possible. Knight f3, bishop g7, surrounding the e5 pawn with everything. That's a funny line. So g5. Yeah, but I don't know if this is objectively sound. G5 takes. Bishop takes g5. I can't play knight takes because of bishop f6, so I have to play g5 takes. Knight c6. Knight f3. Bishop g7. Knight e4. Knight takes e5. Knight takes e5. Bishop takes e5. Seems like white is better. Whatever. I mean, I read somewhere someone talking about, like, if you analyze a move and you spend all your time thinking about it and then play something else, I mean, you just wasted all your time. So better to just trust the instinct there. I do have an alternative of bishop e7. It's too slow. Okay. We take here. Actually, knight c6, g6 I don't like. Bishop g7. There's a very weird move there. Maybe bishop g7 is better. I can castle. I was honestly thinking about crazy stuff with white doing like bishop to b5. Guys, thanks for following. 6 rounds. This is round 5. I lost the first game, so I have just 3. Sun Prism has 4 out of 4. He's playing God Shankar, I assume. Yeah. God Shankar has lame looking ready on the board against Sun Prism. So it looks like he's better. Sun Prism is better there. So now bishop e2. Don't drop mate on d8. It's always better with mate on d8. I took the wrong way. I'm supposed to take with this knight. No, I don't know. It's probably not so big a deal. It might not even be a mistake if I'm lucky here. Knight e5, bishop e5. Yeah, so this, I don't know. I mean, it's kind of a one-trick pony. What if I go back? I thought he would take... Honestly, I thought he would take and play bishop takes e5, knight e4. There I would play f5. And now, if knight f6, check king f7. So c3 is just like a safe move. b6, bishop b7. Well, I have to develop my pieces at some point. I mean, f5 is an obvious suggestion, but it's very weakening, and that lost one game for me already today. Well, one game with black in the endgame. Black's play is somewhat provocative. It is legal to castle queenside. I mean, if it was chess 960. I haven't moved my king yet. Knight h4, anyone? So I have f6 and castles queenside. Possibly. How would bishop e7 been instead of g5? A very safe move is how it would be. Yeah. Indeed. So, I would like to castle. Do you mind? Oh my god, that's covered. Okay, well. That's why he played that move. Maybe I have no choice now but to go for it. It's always a choice. I mean, you know, his retreat there, he's not really threatening anything. Knight e5, knight on d e5. Finally, like. Square where I should have been in the first place, c e5. Where I should have been in the first place. Now that's an imbalanced pawn structure. Bishop e7 was the safest move. But I have a terrible memory, and I know I've looked at this before. Bishop g5 isn't dangerous. He went for this. He went into the simplifying line, which seems kind of weak for white. Now I have a really strong bishop on b7 and open lines against his king. This looks extremely dangerous for white. I guess he threatens to decoy me with like knight c4. Rook f1. Rook g8. Bishop g2. Yeah, he hesitated there. That looks weak. Now we're firing on all cylinders. Everybody's happy until someone loses an eye. Still, I mean, white should probably be okay, but he definitely let the initiative slip to black now. What about doubling on the H file? If I can double on the H file, do I have any tactics? Not really, but I have my F pawn. F5, F4, F3. F5, F4, F3 has been called. I want both these pawns to advance together. They're friends. It's always better with friends. What about knight trade, knight c4, knight c4, knight g4, and then very dangerous things like knight c4, knight g4, bishop g4, rook g4, knight e5, and I lose because of f7 and d7. He likes that. He likes good knight versus bishop. So this is an interesting thing now. That's a little different. Offering it straight up. He's offering a sacrifice to the volcano. Okay. Rook g2 check. King g2 doesn't work. Well, alright, so we want to play with bishop versus knight. He is threatening knight e5. Knight d4 is not that scary, but I don't want him to get control of those dark squares. d4, e5. Meanwhile, single rook exchange is a definite option. The thing is, he's not obligated to do that. I play c5 to control the d4 square, and f6 controls the e5 square. My bishop controls the white squares. Black should be better with the bishop versus knight in open position with imbalanced pawns like this. My e-pawn is passed. Well, you just encouraged me to do this. I have c5. Knight f5, no tricks. Knight f5 almost works, but I have takes and bishop e4. So now he has to retreat his knight. Where's it going? Exactly. So now e5. Should consider an exchange of rooks. It's not going to be so easy though. He's starting to double. I don't know if this is the right idea. I really don't know. Rook endgame should be pretty equal. I feel like I'm going the wrong way here with rook d8, but I'm not sure, and I have less time. Yeah, I don't have time to analyze extraneous possibilities. Rook h3 is extremely fancy. So he's going for the endgame. Oh my god. Wow, so this should be very good for black. But Dorfman says you keep the bishop. I mean, you keep the rooks on. Yeah, he does have knight c4 there, so I don't like it. I'm not exchanging rooks here. No, takes. He's threatening knight c4. He has an outside h pawn, which isn't so good with the knight, but still something. But now I'm clearly better. Can't really generate any threats very easily. I have e5 coming up. e5 and king e6. Yeah, I'm too slow for this tactical based play. Too slow, too old. Too old, too slow. Got more than 10 years on me. Oh my god, bishop takes f3 with a winning pawn in game. No. No way. I mean, I guess in the perfect world, it could be. We can look at it after the game. I mean, I don't believe it. I guess if my king were in the perfect position or something, I could see that working. Yeah, I should have considered it. Take. I don't know. He has an outside pawn. I can play f5, kind of block him out. It's interesting. You know, I didn't seriously consider it, but maybe you have something there. We'll have to look at it. I don't want to fuck this up and let his knight have some good squares. f5, f4. I'm not sure this is a winning position. I think that black is clearly better. I think that Magnus is going to win this position almost every time against pretty much anyone. But, I have less time than my opponent. It is a 5-second increment, though. You could be wrong. Yeah, well, that's what I was looking at. Knight f3. So the e-pawn is money. Oh my god, he's allowing it. How can you do that? Ah. e4, knight g5 check? What? You have a move there. Knight g5 check, king f6. So he has to do this. Now his knight is really illin. You might feel some minor cramping. Oh, look at that. All right. Knight G4. Shouldn't matter. Now we're talking about a good king and pawn game. Not that one. How's that? Bishop E4. I want to sack the exchange here. This looks really strong. We should be winning. All right. So you're telling me I'm not winning? He's like a genius. He's some sort of genius. We're not going to play this out all day. I shouldn't have sacrificed the exchange. It was really, really unnecessary. You're not going to play this out to the 50 move rule. I'm serious. Because I'll just fucking resign. Yeah, Arsenal, well, it probably was, but it wasn't necessary. There's a difference between sound and necessary. And taking unnecessary risks when I have no time. Good time for a hype train. Good time to ban this guy. I will ban you. We're not playing a 50 move rule with rook versus bishop. Bro, seriously. Alright. You're very lucky not to lose. That sucks. I was totally winning. It's so sick. Negative 5.5. He finds the best move here. Take, rook b2. And f3 wins. I was even lost at one point. This is a disgrace. I was even lost for one move. Although I'm not going to find a4 in this position. But I have to find king g3. Forcing you to check me, and that's very counterintuitive. Terrible. I moved the wrong knight, didn't I? I had f5 immediately. I didn't trust myself on that. Oh, so Sun Prism lost to God Shankar. The mysterious God Shankar, rated 1800 in Blitz. Uh-oh, we better check this. Who is this, God Shankar? I forget. He played the Bogo too. He's like prepared. He was preparing based on the last game. Based on Rapunzel. So, awful draw. I'll be lucky to get third place. Sun Prism now with 4. God Shankar only played 3 games and he's in second place. He beat Ruslan. He beat Nefedov. Let's take a quick look at that. Nefedov was totally winning. Wow. What happened? Nefedov lost on time? He flagged in a drawn position. Yeah, this is what happened. Flagged in a drawn position. Alright, it was entertaining. Entertaining game. But I have to win this last round. I don't know how does God Shankar have better tie breaks than me when he has only played 3 games out of 5? How do you do that? So I have 3 games against them. Mm-hmm. Strange games against this player, right? I don't remember. Alright, let's just play knight f3. 30 seconds. So they're 1800 in Blitz. They have 1,000 bullet games. 2200 in Rapid. Is that normal, really? When people have 400 points higher in Rapid? Is the Rapid that inflated? Because that seems crazy to me, you know? It's not, maybe it was at one point. It's not that inflated. My ratings are like the same, you know? My Blitz and Rapid are like the same. Why should somebody be like 2200 and... Because he beat Sun Prism? 200 points, you know, but not 400 points. Bishop f5, huh? Huh. Playing the Bishop f4 Grunfeld with the tempo down. That's asking a lot. Someone else played that against me. I don't think you're supposed to be able to do this. I've also played against Bishop g4, famously losing a game without white. Some Chinese guy. It was ridiculous. Bishop g4 is even worse than Bishop f5, probably. I don't know. Maybe it's playable. I got a huge advantage when the guy played Bishop g4 against me. I don't know how I lost. I can lose any position. Okay, so e6. What else, right? That looks normal. So I take, and how are you supposed to take back? You take back with a knight? So are we playing like a weird Tarash? And if I don't take, I could play other moves, right? Queen a4 is always bad. But this seems right. The pawn formerly known as his strong point on d5. Will Kamsky also play in the World Senior? Look, man, I don't know why so many people are playing the World Senior 50 plus, honestly. I don't know why. I mean, they're not very massive prizes now. It's quite strong. But who knows? He wasn't on the list. He's more than 50 now. He didn't just turn. What is Gata like? Is he just 50 this year? Is it like Mr. Coffee age? I didn't realize that. Maybe he is, right? Uh-huh. I don't know, man. I wouldn't if I were him. But anything's possible. I only play for the GM title. I don't know why so many I don't know why so many grandmasters are playing, you know. The prizes are relatively small compared to the expenses. And I don't think anyone's getting conditions unless they're like the previous winner or something like that, so. I'm surprised how strong the field is. There's a lot of weaker players. So he is Mr. Coffee age. Oh no. Born in 74. Yeah, he's 2 years younger than me. I knew it was about that. When I was like 20, Kamsky was 18 or something. So it makes sense. I remember when Gata immigrated to the States, I was like in high school. Like I was like senior in high school or maybe junior in high school. So knight takes d5. E takes d is a kind of Tarash. So knight takes. He could have played different moves there. White has a stronger center now. It's a semi-Tarash with your bishop on f5. Semi-bishop. 51, so he could have played last year. Last year was better. If he could play, he could have played last year. Yeah, I don't think the Gata plays much, you know, and he also has a lot of... He probably plays for some teams. I don't really think there's a high percentage chance he would play in the World Senior. Adams played 2 years ago. There seems to be a conflict with some tournament. He's not in the list. He was not in the list again. I have to. You reminded me that I should recheck the list though, because I haven't checked the list in a few weeks. And there's probably a lot of new players. But I mean, obviously it would be cool if Gata would play, but I like Adams better. I like Adams is a really favorite player of mine. I would much rather play him. I played Gata. I was uncomfortable playing him. But that was the weird game where he came late to the game, and it was sort of surreal. He had been retired for a long time and came back, and it was like, I don't know what. It just was weird. I didn't know what to expect. He wasn't as good as he used to be, but it was around like 2006, 2007, I don't remember. 2005? Gata had quit for years, you know, while I was at my peak, basically. And then he suddenly reappears. It was weird. I didn't know what to expect. I played really a bad game against him, resigning prematurely, but... Okay, so God Shankar, the weird reverse Grunfeld. Strangely appropriate play by black here. Do I have knight h4? You just stopped that, didn't you? Hiccups. Have you guys ever had an opponent have like sudden hiccups during a game over the board? It happened to me 2 years ago. And it took a while to realize that my opponent had been drinking, you know, and that's why. He must have been drinking some very strong liquor. No, you don't just get hiccups like very easily. You had an opponent shush an elevator? Damn, that's when you're very deeply disturbed. But nothing like an elevator in the playing hall. You know, I mean, that's really ideal. What am I doing, dude? Who is God Shankar? Knight h5, knight h4, bishop h4, pawn h4, queen h4. I can't just give him a pawn. It's a fantastically interesting idea. Can't come up with a good plan here. Yeah, I'm distracted. This is the last game. This is the big money for this game. E3 is weakening. Don't know what to do. Queen b3. There's the lame bishop b2. Wow. This is weird, dude. I don't know who this player is. Where they came from. Bishop E3. Strange idea. How about I take your pawn and keep it? It was outside the room. Oh, shushing the elevator outside the room. He was shushing the people in the elevator. Yeah, I was an uncontrollable shusher at one point. It's a sign of stress and anxiety. There's nothing wrong with a good shush now and then when something's really, sometimes you really need to do it. I thought with this World Senior, there's a lot of incidences where there's like, one of the worst things is like the old players walking back into the tournament hall like hours later after the game is over, and then they started like talking and shit because they have Alzheimer's and stuff. I mean, they didn't even realize. There's a very strict rule that you're supposed to like not come back in a tournament hall after you've left, or they'll stand right outside the playing hall. Within like 5 meters of the playing hall, talking very loudly outside. Old people do a lot of stupid stuff. They're as bad as little kids. So once in a while, I'll just let it go with like a big shush. And then you know it. Yeah, I'm a pro. But I got carried away with it at some point, They used to call me the shusher. And I realized I had the problem, Half the battle is admitting you have a problem. So now, okay, Queen A5. Holy shush. I don't know if this is right. I could have played different moves, but my air conditioner is like freezing me. What the hell? Like a temperature drop here. So this is my plan, do like an F3 Nimzo. Use the two bishops on the long diagonals, try to pick off a pawn over here somewhere. Maybe. Get to an endgame, a pawn up. His bishop on F5, it's like, what does that do? It doesn't help with his B7 pawn. It doesn't help defend the queen side. He can't take on D4 and fix my structure. So here he has a bit of a quandary. Bishop takes C5. That's a very strong option. Queen takes C3. I mean, that's probably his best bet. I guess queen takes C3. I just have two bishops and I'm better. But this line, it isn't really a line. Yeah, I mean, he could have taken on D4. Then I would take with the knight. I think that black has to be very thoughtful about how to equalize here. Man, there was this one awful game at the Grand Swiss. Somebody, Moksulu? No, I don't remember. Gukash, maybe? Somebody's playing the white side of the Catalan and somehow winning. In one of these like really gross, boring lines. Like knight e5, mainline Catalan. Bishop takes c6, pawn takes c6, knight takes c6. All that stuff. Oh my god. Alright, rook d8. Rook d8 is a pro move. But what do you menace? Queen b3. I just make moves at random. Well, that takes away knight b3 for me, unfortunately. So I feel like I can win a pawn. We can win a pawn. Bishop c5, knight f5. You guys know the main line of the Catalan? Queen c2. Which line is that? No, not queen c2. Knight e5 main line. Knight e5, knight c6, bishop c6, b takes c6. Move 11 knows it. Somehow, like, someone won a game with white in that line. Like, what are you doing? They're so boring, the most boring technical stuff that people play now. It's horrible. The grand Swiss of boredom. No, I mean there must be some good games too, Arsenal fan. Like you were talking about Vitugov. I didn't look at his games. You can always count on good games from certain players. Like Ivanchuk is always going to play interesting games. Certain people you're guaranteed, but the trend seems to be really moving toward like super dry, sort of cringy dry chess. That's what the future holds. So knight takes f5. Cringy dry. Knight takes f5, pawn takes f5, bishop takes c5, queen takes c5, queen takes b7. That was the plan. As I said, we win a pawn. Is that the best I have? Well, queen takes b7, yeah. So I know what's happening. I'm going for third place. We're attacking the knight, and we're a pawn up with the bishop. Grunfeld reverse. I like the Grunfeld reverse. Reverse Grunfeld. So black can possibly draw this, but it's not a pleasant endgame. Would you like to undouble my pawn, sir? This was the goal, like get one of his queenside pawns. Speaking of dry, disgusting, cringy chess. If the pawn's on the king side, yeah, maybe not so easy to do anything. Very good blockade with knight c4. Where have I seen that recently? Anybody want to remind me? Queen takes, rook c1, rook c8, rook b1, king f8, rook b3. This is, I'm having like some sort of flashback to another game I had that was almost identical to this. He's really 1800 in Blitz, man. I mean, that's a 400 rating point differential. Very difficult technical endgame. He played like a pro. What's up with knight g4 though? I don't really understand that move. I don't know why he did that. He wants to reposition his knight. Why though? It was in a good position. Like blockading my c-pawn. It seems very strange. Slightly strange. Right. Okay, fine. Rook b7. Now what am I going to do? Trade? c4. I need to improve the rest of my pieces. This guy seems way too good to be 1800 in blitz. That's a kind of reckless move, though. King e5. Wow. King e5. I don't know why he played that. Yeah, he's starting to go south. Feels like. Losing the thread in the endgame. Now I'm threading rook, rook b7, rook b5 maybe. The rook b5 doesn't necessarily win. He has a dark square blockade. So this is a forced exchange. But don't like the look of black. He can fix his pawns now, but rook b5 is a win. So he has to take, yeah, doesn't look good. Doesn't look good. Ooh. Mr. Coffee, what did you do? A little harsh. I was going to wait till he really did something provocative. Yeah, I mean, you're probably erring on the safe side there, but f4. So we got this. Black has no counterplay. Pretty fly for a white guy, Mr. Coffee. There's the counterplay. There's the counterplay. Ooh, I don't like that. You'll bring him back if I want. Bring him back. That's how it works. I was wondering how that worked. You can just bring him back. Just beam him back aboard. Like you did. Just beam him back aboard like nothing ever happened. I'm sorry his atoms are all scrambled, sir. Beam him back, Coffee. We're going to keep this simple around here. We got him cut off. Oh yeah, I mean, I know where it is. I hope I registered for the right World Senior. It's definitely in Italy. I remember the organizer. We don't want to register the wrong one. I'm beaming him off the line there. This is a long grind for the last round. Not a fan of resigning. Oof. He's a hell of an 1800 Blitz player. I'll tell you that. Back to tournament. Oh, they're still playing Sun Prism against Stefano. Oh my god. Sun Prism with no material left. Oh no. Stefano pulls out the upset draw. Sun Prism still wins the tournament on tiebreak. Wow. He still wins it on tiebreak. Yeah. You deserved it. You beat me in the first game. I lost the first round against Sun Prism and allowed one draw. And he lost the penultimate round and allowed one draw. But, yeah, he deserves it. Kelly M. winning the last round, but not enough. Getting third place. Stefano with fourth place. Good performance for him after a bad start. Gottschenker gets fifth place, losing only against me. Miles dropped out after 4. He had 2.5. Arsenal fan gets 2. Carefully picking his spots. And then Unleashes new with 2 points, 2.5 points rather, and Nefedov with 2.5. Nefedov played the whole event. Thanks for playing, Nefedov. Redusa out after 5. So Asterbait, where were you? Just off the front page. Asterbait gets a win in the last round. Ah, it's a forfeit. That's ugly, guys. Asterbait got a win in the last round. But thanks everyone for playing. We had a total of 18 players. Sun Prism wins the tournament. I don't think that's your first one. But a good performance. 24-15 performance. You outperformed me. And Kelly M with 4. Thanks everybody for playing Sun Prism. Congratulations. Gold Cup and all the cash that goes with it. I had silver. Unleashed, thanks for playing. You're new here. Kelly M, good job as usual. Played some good chess. Swindled a draw from me in an SDN game. But we'll be back Thursday. Tomorrow is analysis stream. So I'd like to ask everyone to pre-register for analysis stream by sending in your games. Excuse me. If you are a subscriber, you can send in your games. It's better that way, that I know. So send me the games before we start the analysis stream tomorrow night. Alright, don't forget to pre-register. And I'll see you all then. Thanks, Arsenal fan, Sun Prism.